Okay, let's work Pathways 3.3. This question's of conceptual nature. This is a very quantitative chapter, but this one's very conceptual. I wanted to hit on this because I thought it was pretty important just to avoid confusion, okay? Question asks, is the statement 1 mole of chlorine confusing to you? And I think this is a little confusing, okay? Because we don't specify what specifically we're talking about. Are we talking about 1 mole of chlorine atoms or 1 mole of chlorine molecules? Now, of course, the confusion arises because there are certain elements on the periodic table, like the halogens, for instance. Chlorine's a member of that group, that exist as diatomic molecules typically in their natural state, okay? This is essentially when 2 atoms of chlorine are bonded together. They come packaged as a molecule, Cl2. It's a diatomic molecule, okay? There are other elements like this. Fluorine, bromine, iodine, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen. These are all examples of elements that tend to come as diatomics. So when you say 1 mole of chlorine, am I talking about 1 mole of isolated chlorine atoms? If I was, this would be 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd chlorine atoms. That would have a mass of 35.45 grams. I'm getting that from the periodic table. So if I'm talking about the atoms, that would be my mass. However, if I'm talking about 1 mole of chlorine gas, as it typically natively exists, okay, or how we interact with it, I'm really talking about something that's different. I'm talking about 1 mole of Cl2 molecules. And this is important because for every molecule I've got 2 atoms, right? So it makes sense that the mass of that, then, the molecules would be twice as much, or almost 71 grams per mole of molecules. So this statement is confusing because we're not specifying, are we talking about the diatomic molecules or the atoms of the element? So whenever you are reading problems like this, it's a pretty good idea to try to specify or understand which one the problem is talking about as early as possible. You can get hints maybe from the balanced chemical equation if that's provided.